the CBI has submitted its investigation report to the Supreme Court regarding the heinous crime committed against a female trainee doctor at Kolkata's RG Kar Medical College. The report contains several significant findings. Solicitor General Tushar Mehta, representing the CBI, informed the Supreme Court that the agency took over the investigation 5 days after the incident. By then, critical changes had been made at the crime scene, complicating the investigation. The CBI also revealed that the victim's family was misled and that the role of RG Kar College Principal Sanjay Ghosh is under scrutiny. During a hearing on Thursday, a Supreme Court bench including Chief Justice G.Y. Chandrachud, Justice G.B. Pardiwala and Justice Manoj Mishra criticized the West Bengal police for their handling of the case. The Chief Justice questioned how the victim's death was classified as unnatural only at 11 p.m. when the post-mortem was conducted earlier that evening. The court demanded clarification from the Bengal government on the time gap between the post-mortem and the declaration of the death as unnatural. Justice J.B. Pardiwala remarked that he had not seen such a case in his 30-year career. Meanwhile, a lawyer representing AIIMS mentioned that doctors were protesting but facing harassment due to their actions. The Chief Justice assured the doctors that no adverse action would be taken if they returned to work, emphasizing that doctors and judges who deal with life and freedom cannot go on strike. The hearing also saw heated exchanges between the CBI and the West Bengal government, which the bench admonished. The Supreme Court urged political parties not to politicize the situation and stressed that the law would take its course. The court directed state governments to implement security measures for doctors. Security of the Union Health Minister to coordinate with state authorities to ensure doctors' safety. The court mandated that this process be completed within a week with appropriate action to follow within 2 weeks. The Bombay High Court has taken suo motu cognizance of the sexual abuse of minor girls at a school in Badlapur, Maharashtra. A bench comprising Justice Revati Dere and Justice P.K. Chavan criticized the police for not acting promptly after being informed about the case and expressed displeasure over the delay in filing the FIR. The court questioned why the police only acted after public protest and warned that any attempt to suppress the case would result in strict action. The court also demanded clarification from the state government, questioning Advocate General Birendra Saraf about the action taken by the Badlapur police before the investigation was handed over to a special team and requested the relevant documents. The state government reported that action would be taken against the school and counseling for one of the victims had been completed, with the other ongoing. The police stated that the incident occurred on August 12th and 13th, with parents reporting it on August 16th. An SIT was formed on August 21st and 2 officers from the Badlapur police station were suspended. The High Court has ordered the state government to submit a detailed affidavit and scheduled the next hearing for August 27 at 2:30 p.m. The Jharkhand High Court, during a hearing on Thursday about stopping Bangladeshi intruders in the state, criticized the central government for failing to submit an affidavit on time. The court expressed dissatisfaction with the Intelligence Bureau IB, Uday and Border Security Forces BSF for requesting 4 additional weeks to file the affidavit. The court highlighted concerns about declining tribal population in Jharkhand and accused the central government of neglecting this issue, despite Jharkhand being created to protect tribal interest. The court denied the central government's request for a 4-week extension and ordered them to submit their response within 2 weeks. Emphasizing the importance of the issue, the court noted that the matter of Bangladeshi intruders is crucial to national security and all parties involved must adhere to the deadlines. The bench led by Chief Justice and Justice Sujit Narayan Prasad scheduled the next hearing for September 5. The Supreme Court has rejected a petition to cancel the bail plea granted by the Karnataka High Court to Mohan Nayak, who is accused in the murder of journalist Gauri Lankesh. Justice Bela M. Trivedi and Satish Chandra Sharma upheld the High Court's decision, noting that Nayak has cooperated with the trial court. Mohan Nayak was granted bail in December 2023 by the Karnataka High Court, which cited the lengthy trial process as a reason. The Supreme Court also highlighted that Nayak has been in custody since July 18, 2018 and has fully cooperated with the investigation. The court found no reason to overturn the High Court's decision. The petition seeking the cancellation of Nayak's bail was filed by Gauri Lankesh's sister, Kavita Lankesh. Gauri Lankesh was murdered outside her Bengaluru home on September 5, 2017, and the case was investigated by the SIT. Additionally, the Supreme Court rejected the central government's request for a 4-week deadline and instead directed them to file a reply within 2 weeks. The Allahabad High Court has denied bail to Maulana Muhammad Shani Alam of Ghaziabad, who is accused of forced conversion and marriage. Justice Rohit Ranjan Agarwal's bench emphasized that such actions are serious crimes. The court ruled that no individual, including religious figure like pastors or Maulvis, has the right to forcibly convert anyone under the UP Anti-Conversion Act. Any conversion achieved through force, fraud, coercion or temptation will face legal action regardless of the accused's identity. The court noted that the victim, who works for a company, testified that Maulana Shani Alam pressured her to convert to Islam and that she was married to a man named Aman. She also stated that she was physically exploited and coerced into accepting Islam. The High Court highlighted that creating a nikahnama, Islamic marriage contract without consent, and pressuring someone into religious conversion are criminal acts, given that this case infringes on the constitutional right to religious conversion are criminal acts. Given that this case infringes on the constitutional right to the religious freedom, the court rejected the bail plea. Watch our special programs and share the videos to stay updated with the daily court proceedings.